Tony D and Little Joan with final video, just very brief. Too fried to do the Piney podcast. I'm literally too fried. Um, I've been trying to make videos about PIskor, but I absolutely cannot process when I'm this tired. I will say though that your boy Zach is making very detailed videos on the subject, and that I watched the first one. It was pretty interesting. Um, but changing the subject, um, the comic book convention today was great. A lot of enthusiastic fans, a lot of young fans, mostly there to see Groot and Star Lord in costume and get their picture with them and to get their faces painted. It was a very normie con, open to the public, free, and full of. It wasn't just comic fans, which is what I like about the show. A lot of times you go to a show, it's in a VFW hall or whatever, or it's in some sort of hall and it costs $5 to get in. Those are all comic fans. Like, you have to really want to go into a comic book convention, especially a small one, and pay for it, you know? And what are you really paying for in a small con like that? Nothing. You're just paying an entrance fee to get into the place so they can hold it there. So, you know, if you want to see a real gauge on what the fandom's thinking and doing, you go to one of those shows because you'll get a real sense of where people's heads are at. You can see what they're picking up and what they're buying or what they're not buying. Mostly people are buying back issues. And at today's show, they weren't even buying comics. There was only like one or two comic dealers. They didn't seem that busy. I mean, they sold some comics, but I can guarantee you that not a lot of new ones in that mix. Not a lot of comics in general. Usually I would go to a show, and even the dealers that say sold toys might have some comics too. Now it's kind of the opposite. It's like, it seems like the comics industry is so depressed. There's almost nothing there. No reason for them to have too many comics. So I saw Funkos and other toys and costume related things, and you know, in Artist Alley it's all comic book guys, but you know, in the actual retail areas of the event, not a lot of comics at all. So forget about, you know, whether or not there's an audience for these gay comics. The question now is there an audience for these comics at all? You know, I think there is, but you know, it's going to require years of rebuilding it, years of actual effort. And I can very much guarantee you, no one's doing that right now. Least of all the corporate people who have no real stake in it, other than they're trying to save money every which way they can. Back in the day, it was easy. By having Rob Liefeld do the Levi's commercial, and then later Remote Control, a TV quiz show or game show that was on MTV, had skateboards with the image characters on them. Liefeld's image characters, like custom made boards. So this was a great way to promote Image Comics. Now no one does that kind of stuff, like literally no one. And that's part of why comics are dying. And like the other question would be, what the hell comics would you even promote if you did that? So I mean, I'm not hearing any chatter about Marvel or DC, least of all Image. Image you typically don't either, except for maybe The Walking Dead you would hear about, and that would be about it. So Yeah, comics is in a state. Yeah, it's in a sad state. Money would help it, but I don't think you're going to see money until someone either has a huge breakthrough and actually fixes the comic book industry, or somebody finally puts some real money into a publishing house that then bucks the trend of what comics sell for and what you get. And right now, I don't think you get much with your average comic. You know, they're too expensive, and most people just don't want them. So it's a real problem, but I'm too tired to go into it further. That's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. I'll see you tomorrow.